Story 1, AITA for being active early in the morning and disturbing my neighbors? I'm a single dad living in a semi-detached house. My toddler loves sleeping in. And I love sleeping. I prefer late nights and late mornings. Then I had new neighbors several months ago. They too have a toddler who constantly cries throughout the night, but it happens. Not every toddler is the same. But the man often works on call and is up throughout the night. Which means I'm waking up every time he goes to work. The woman has a 7 a.m. alarm and snoozes it for 5 minutes until 7:30. And on weekends they are up at 8 a.m. loudly talking and playing with their kid. Thankfully my kid sleeps through it. But after months of this I'm now an early bird. I go to bed early and I'm awake early. So now, I start the day at 7. Every day including weekends. I'm up and down the stairs getting stuff ready for school, I'm cleaning out my rabbit's cage. Whatever I need to do I do. I'm not going out of my way to be loud, just doing what I used to do later in the morning sooner. Of course they now have a problem with this because on the days the man has to sleep in because he was on call he can't, cause I'm awake. The woman on her days off is now being woken up at 7 a.m. and Sai can't exactly snooze me. And on weekends when they decide to sleep in after a night out and a hangover I'm up and down the stairs. They asked me not to start my day so early. I'm waking them up. I told them it's really their fault. Before they moved in I'd be waking up much later, but their alarms and loudness conditioned me to wake up early. Told them I tried speaking to them about it and they can't help it. So, am I really the asshole for something they practically created? Radiant_Esthel says, NTA. You're not going out of your way to be loud, just living your life at a reasonable time. They created the situation by being loud early in the morning themselves. You've also tried to address the issue with them previously. Ramoa says, NTA if you spoke to them about being noisy and they dismissed you, it is hypocritical of them to complain about your noise now. Stoffiting Thyself says, NTA I think whoever made your houses out of thin paper is the real asshole here. I thought I could hear my neighbors a lot, but going up and down the stairs and cleaning out a hutch are not loud activities. If they can hear that then it's not your fault, you're literally just going about your home. They need to be realistic. Story 2, AITA for refusing to cancel child support throwaway account. I 34 meters have been taking care of my sister's 32F daughter for around 6 years. This all started when my sister got arrested for felony theft and drug charges. She's been a long-time addict, poor mouther, and family manipulator. No one else in my family stepped up, so I offered to take my niece in while my sister did drug treatment to avoid jail. From the beginning, my niece, then around 10, didn't want anything to do with her mom. I thought that was odd. But over the first few months I had her, my niece opened up about her mom having treated her very poorly. I sought a guardianship for my niece, and told my sister that I would not willingly send my niece back to her unless my sister got off the drugs and sorted her life out. My sister initiated a legal fight with me to terminate the guardianship. I grew to love this kid like my own, and I didn't want to send her back to a bad environment. It cost me 6 figures over the course of a year and a half in legal fees. I won. I managed to marshal substantial evidence of my sister's ongoing substance abuse, and the court relied upon the report of a court-appointed guardian ad litem who reported favorably about my niece in my care and about my niece's negative view of her mother. At some point in the legal processes I was shelling out 5-figure monthly legal bills. She learned that, as my niece's guardian, I was entitled to child support, so I filed the forms to seek it, and won it. The state oversees the support award, and is apparently pretty thorough in seeking it. Garnishing paychecks and bank accounts. Now years only am starting to get pressure from other family to forgive the child support. I have family reaching out to me saying my sister is doing better and just can't get ahead, having to give up portions of her paycheck every month. With back amounts, it's like $30K in back support that I am owed. I don't need it, really, if I'm being honest. I make a good living, better than anyone else in my family has done. In all likelihood, sister's debt will never be paid in full. But I don't want to let it go. I've started telling relatives, hey, that's great that you want to help sister, why don't you pay me her $30K debt plus the present value of the award until niece is 18 and then I'll forgive sister's obligation. Relatives have been huffy at that response. My sister initiated a fight with me knowing full well she was back on drugs, and lied about it, and got caught in open court. It was all a waste of a large amount of money, in my prime years, that I would have otherwise saved and set aside to retire on, or pay for my niece's education. I'm still mad about it, and my sister can owe me it forever for all I care. AITA? Royally Oki says, NTA, I hope your niece is doing well. The money is for her care. Any relatives with an opinion are free to contribute. National_pension_110 says, NTA. You need to remind your family that the child support your sister is paying is not for you, her brother. It is for her daughter. The fact that you can afford to pay for the daughter's care is irrelevant. That money can go into a college fund if you want. Also, where is the child's father in this picture? He owes child support, too. Kudos to you for stepping up to care for your niece. You have spared her from a lifetime of harm. Professional_B8404 says, NTA. If your sister didn't fight the guardianship, which shows she isn't after the child's best interest, you probably would have never requested the child support. Thanks for watching. I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.